What's going on, YouTube? How are you guys? Wait for a few people to get in the chat here. I want to get a link up here in my chat for everybody to download. Copy link, put it right here, and copy paste. All right. I want everyone to go there when they come in or when they're watching this video. I'm going to have it down below too. It is my Telegram app, Telegram group, and I want you guys to join. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to just go over some things that are happening in the news and just do what we normally do on my spur of the moment chats or spur of the moment streams rather. Wait for some people to pop in here. That's one thing I'm going to do right now. And I think I'm just going to go boom like that. And then I'm going to hit this one right there for now. That's fine. And I'll see when I get some people all up in here. Got one person watching. Don't know who it is. It's probably one of my trolls. Yeah. So glad to have you guys here on the Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. Shoot. What was I trying to do? Oh, I want to pop this out. That's what I want to do. And get this pulled over here. Pull it down like that so it does that. And there we go. Now I can see what's going on there. Anyway, yeah, so I had a few things I was going to cover. I got a bunch of these little articles that I want to go over. And let me make sure my screen capture, how that's going to work. Get all this set up before too many people get in here. Okay, yeah, now that is not going to be how I want it. I think we'll do this, actually. We'll probably go full like that. And I'm going to wait for some people to pop in here. I adjust this. Sorry if you guys are watching this live. We're going to get right into some articles here. I just are watching it after the fact. Okay. President Trump's favorite meme lord suspended. No, that's not the one I wanted to do. Oh, this one is pretty silly, though. I can't believe how crazy our world is getting right now. It's just driving me crazy. That was also the same one. Why is that coming up twice? Maybe that was because that was a whole... Yeah. This one here, man. I think we should start out with the whole bar situation. I'm going to take a look back here. So glad I'm going to cut all this crap out when I do my video. So glad to have everybody here. So here's a new article out right now, or not a new article. Here's a new thing that's going on right now in our crazy upside down world we live in. Is that it's a constitutional crisis. What's up, Gator? Yeah, I just went live, man. I'm going to start putting up warnings, but I didn't know I was going to. So anyways, copy this one up above, this link I put. And can you be putting that out here? I'll give it to you again. Maybe it's right here. Paste. Is that the link? Yeah. This link right here, Gator. I don't know why SJG. Oh, it's SJG's in it. Duh. Be pushing that link for me tonight. I'm going to have to tell McCartney survival. I have to leave his. Oh, you're on McCartney's. I was on his stream earlier. Tell him to come over and say hello, man, after he's done with his. Anyway, might be a cozy night tonight, just with us, which is cool, because I didn't put any word up that I was going to do this. So, House Judiciary Committee Democrats have voted to hold Attorney William Barr in contempt of Congress for defying their demands for the unredacted Mueller report and underlying evidence. I'll take this apart after. Let's read it first. Following the 22-12 vote along party lines, committee chair Jerry Nadler told reporters the U.S. is now in a constitutional crisis. The vote came after the White House asserted executive privilege over the report's contents. calling Nadler's demands for the unredacted report a blatant abuse of power. A version of the report with most of the redactions removed has been made available to at a secure facility, but so far, no Democrats have bothered to look at it. So they are so worried about what is hiding in these unredacted reports that are legally they're not allowed to release. Under law, they need to keep certain informants, certain practices redacted because they're top secure. It's top secret type stuff, highly secure information that can't be released to the public, as you would think in a normal, not upside down world with normal people. You can't release that information. You get the gist of everything that was done in the Mueller report, even through the redactions. But fine. So what they did to make a compromise is to say, we will redact. I think it's damn near all of it, and we'll put it in a secure facility. You can't take pictures, you can't take notes, but you can come in and read it. You can come in and read it and see if we're hiding anything. See if there's a big conspiracy that we're spinning the Mueller report the wrong way and that Trump really did do all these bad things that we're lying to you about. But none of them have taken him up on the offer. Go figure. Because it isn't about that. It isn't about trying to find out the truth. It's about dragging this whole Russian collusion, obstruction of justice, Mueller BS as far out as possible. Let's just drag it out as far out as possible. Let's try. They vested themselves in this so deeply. There has to be something in there. It has to be behind the in the redactions, and we'll find it. Well, okay, go look at the unredacted reports, or mostly unredacted reports. Basically unredacted reports in a secure building. You can read them. Nobody's done it yet because it's all a political dog and pony shit show. That's the only reason they're doing it. It is deeply disappointing that elected representatives of the American people have chosen to engage in such inappropriate political theatrics. Department of Justice spokeswoman Carrie Kupik said in a statement, adding that no one forced the Department of Justice to break the law by handing over documents that cannot be disclosed. This is only the second occasion a congressional committee has held a sitting attorney general in contempt. I believe the other one was, it was the old Obama attorney general. Can't think of his name right this second. It's escaping me for some stupid reason. Kick him while they're down, old guy. It'll come to me in a second. I can't believe I can't remember that right now. Eric Holder. Yeah, it's in there. Should have just kept reading. The first instance was in 2012 when Barack Obama's AG, Eric Holder, was held in contempt by a Republican majority House over his refusal to provide documents related to Fast and Furious gun smuggling scandal. So see, in this scenario, the Eric Holder actually, thank you, Rational, a little late, I got it. Eric Holder actually was involved in a screwed up conspiracy where we sold guns to Mexican cartel and we were going to track them, and they ended up getting lost, and some of those guns ended up in the hands of the cartel. All of those guns ended up in the hands of the cartels and criminals, and some of these guns were actually used later to kill our own Border Patrol agents. So when our Congress actually dove into an actual conspiracy and an actual breaking of the law by our Attorney General and wanted documents surrounding it, that it actually happened, he refused to give them, and he was held in contempt. And I think the same punishment that was given Eric Holder should be what is given Barr, which was nothing. Nothing happened to him, of course. Here in the scenario with Barr's actually, he's actually following the law. the law that says you can't release these unredacted reports. It's not him trying to run interference for President Trump. It's him following the law and not releasing stuff that would actually get, resources and assets and methods, reveal them to the general public of how they actually did these investigations and who they talked to in these investigations. So that's the difference. One is trying to uphold the law. One was breaking the law. The one that broke the law, Eric Holder, he actually didn't have anything happen to him. And now they're going after Barr, hook, line, and sinker. And the reason why they're doing that is because Barr has said, I'm going to get to the bottom of this whole spying, of this whole dossier, of how this all got started. I'm going to, this whole collusion, right, with Trump and the Russians. How did this all get started? Oh, yeah, it got started in that whole dossier and with a whole bunch of, and then spying on Trump was used out of this fake dot that we know now is fake and had a whole bunch of fluff, disinformation, nonsense in it, was used by the previous administration to spy on the current, well, at that time, the candidate Trump campaign. And so it's far worse than Watergate, what Obama did, right? And he's going to get to the bottom of it and see how close Hillary was connected to it, and see how close the Department of Justice was connected to it, and see how close all these other agencies that wanted to make sure Trump never got into office, make sure they had an insurance plan, make sure that they actually did a soft coup. They were, in essence, he's going to get to the bottom of that, and that is why they're discrediting him. It has nothing else. They're going after him because now they've pissed off the wrong people too many times. They've kept pissing at him and hitting at him and poking at him, and now finally they've had enough, and they're going to say they're pushing back now. Now they're actually pushing back, and it isn't just, okay, we're done with the collusion, let's move on. That's what would have happened if the Democrats would have just dropped it, and the Democrats operatives, aka the mainstream media, would have just dropped it. But they bet everything on it. I mean, they put all on black, right? And roulette. They just put all on. This has got to be where we bring Trump down. This is he absolutely did terrible things, and we're going to prove it with this. And then there was nothing. So they're all in, and they just can't let go. They can't let go. Trump's doing really well in so many other ways that they got to bring him down. So it's funny. Anyways, let's keep reading. This is only the second occasion. I already read that. I'll read it again. This is only the second occasion a congressional committee has held a sitting attorney general in contempt. The first such instance was in 2012 when Barack Obama's AG, Eric Holder, was held in contempt by the Republican majority House over his refusal to provide documents related to the Fast and Furious gun smuggling scandal. At the time, Nadler called it shameful, politically motivated vote and walked out of the proceedings. So at that time, when they were going after Eric Holder, it was shameful, politically motivated. We had guns that disappeared, if you want to believe that story, that we just lost hundreds of guns that we were selling to we were selling to Track to Cartel as a sting operation. Bullshit. That's the biggest. It was a complete and total. Got exposed and was never supposed to get exposed, and that was a completely nefarious, shady deal there. But he had nothing to say then, or the only thing he had to say then was it was shame. It was shameful, politically motivated, going against Eric Holder. Just Representative Nadler just joined the hashtag walkout of the House chamber to protest the shameful, politically motivated GOP vote holding AG Holder in contempt. Mueller was appointed. It's almost like it's also just it's payback because these guys are such petty little shits. They don't care about what's really going on with the country and really where we're taking the country. It's just petty tit for tat crap, which I'm sure is done on both sides. I'm not just defending I'm not just going after the Democrats on this. The Republicans do it plenty of times too. But in this scenario, it's more or less we put all in on this. We've got to make something out of it. And it's also probably a little bit of a tit for tat, a revenge for what they did. Mueller was appointed special counsel in May 2017 by Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, after Democrats accused Trump of obstructing the Russian collusion investigation by sacking FBI Director James Comey. James Comey, we found out now, is completely partisan and has been shady on a lot of his dealings, not just around this, for quite some time. After nearly 2 years of the investigation, he submitted a 448-page report to the Department of Justice in March. Barr, who became AG in February, published the full report, with less than 10% redacted to protect sources, methods, grand jury information, and ongoing investigations to the public on April 18th. We have a tweet here from Aaron Mate. For all the talk I hear about Russian clickbait sowing fear and discord, I submit for your consideration those prominent Democratic voices constantly declaring that we are in a national security crisis, e.g., post-Helsinki, and now a constitutional crisis, post-Mueller report. Axios was replying and says, Nadler told reporters after the hearing, we are now in a constitutional crisis. Now is a time of testing whether we can keep our republic or whether this republic is destined to change into a different, more tyrannical form of government. Okay, so Trump and Barr are following the laws by not releasing the full redacted report because of the reasons I just mentioned. And that means they're a tyrannical government that's trying to hide the truth for us. Again, I'm going to go back to Holder. Holder does all the crap he does, and Nadler thinks it was just a politically motivated hit piece against Eric Holder. The Attorney General, Washington, D.C., the President, the White House. Dear Mr. President, I don't know who this is from. I am writing to request that you make a protective assertion of executive privilege with respect to the Department of Justice documents recently subpoenaed by the Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives. In cases like this where a committee has declined to grant sufficient time to conduct a full review, the President may make a protective assertion of the privilege to protect the interest of the executive branch pending a final determination about whether to assert privilege. The committee has demanded that I produce a complete and unredacted version of the report submitted to me on March 22, 2019 by Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III regarding his investigation of Russia interference on the 2016 election. The committee also seeks all documents referenced in the report and all documents obtained and investigative materials created by the Special Counsel's office. Again, what a stupid thing for them to say they want. Half of the stuff that investigators get lead nowhere. They could just be hearsay. They could just be fluff, and they lead nowhere. And yet the House is saying we want all of the materials. We want all of the materials from the 2 years of investigations that was done. We want them all. We want everything. The committee, therefore, demands all of the special counsel's investigative files, which consist of millions of pages of classified and unclassified documents bearing upon more than 24 criminal cases and investigations, many of which are ongoing. These materials include law enforcement information, information about sensitive intelligence sources and methods, and grand jury information that the department is prohibited from disclosing by law. They are prohibited to disclose this by law, and yet Congress is asking them to break the law. And since he won't break the law, they're holding him in contempt of Congress. Hurt your brain. In his refusal to hand over his documents demanded by the committee, Barr cited that the opinion of the Attorney General Janet Reno from 1996 during the Clinton administration. Back then, Nadler vocally opposed the release of the full report of the special counsel Ken Starr into President Bill Clinton. Democrats have gone so far as to demand Barr's resignation over his handling of the Mueller report, though certain conservative commentators have suggested that the outrage aimed at AG has more to do with his ongoing investigation, yes, here it is, into the Obama administration's surveillance of the Trump campaign during and after the 2016 presidential election. I think that they realized, oh crap, we pushed too hard. We pissed him off. We pushed too hard. Now he's going after us. Now he's not backing up. He's going after us. We pushed too hard. We need to discredit him and get him out of office and make him resign and hold him in contempt and just in the public eye discredit him, because that is going to be the only way that we are going to be able to, save any face on this. Didn't mean to do that part either. I need to get my buttons under control. Sorry. All right. Anyways, let's read a couple. Let's read a couple here. Ears. Hashtag ears. I say I got my boys in here, man. I got Rational and Gator. El Chapo had a Barrett 50 caliber rifle. Just imagine he had it. What is that? Rational. Yeah, the same person in charge of the Hillary investigation in charge of the Trump investigation. The FBI sent someone into the Trump campaign to secretly spy. Yep. Sent a spy too, a spy chick. Rational. Good to see you finally had your ear reattached, dude. I didn't want to say anything, but you kind of looked weird without them. I know. That's funny, huh? With the whole everyone, it's starting to become a trademark deal with these bad boys. I forget what it looks like, but seems like you can see the yellow now, but I guess it does kind of cut the old head up a little bit. It's a trademark, Rational. It's a trademark. All right. I have another, I think I had another thing here too. Oh yeah, this one too was, I want to do a little more research on that one before I do that. Sorry. This is funny. This is just hilarious. This is really not like a big deal story, but it's funny. It says, education is only numbers. French Alps school enrolls sheep as pupils to save class. School enrolls sheep as pupils to save class. You can't make this crap up. It says the small French Alps village of Creates and I'm not going to say that, Belidon is counting sheep, but not to cure insomnia. Instead, they're enrolling them in school to make up for low attendance. Yeah, you read that right. The Jules Ferry Elementary School registered some 15 sheep as pupils on Tuesday in order to fulfill French regulations, which set quotas for the number of students required at a school. National education is unfortunately only numbers, said Gail Laval, one of the parents behind the odd initiative. So now, with the surge in numbers, we're good. We just enrolled some sheep. Just some sheep. They're probably smarter than most of the kids that would have been going there and getting educated anyways. But, and that's not a dig that the kids are stupid. It's just that our educational system is pretty ridiculous lately. The elementary school risks losing state funding for one of its 11 classes when its enrollment figure fell below the required threshold, prompting residents to symbolically register the animals to ensure the quota was met. Human students at Jules Ferry were elated by the arrival of their new classmates. I bet they were. To have sheep in the school, it is super, said one 8-year-old student, except for all the shit they lay around. I'm ready to take 1 or 2 in my class. I'm sure they will work well at eating my paper. The effort was organized by 3 parents, but the town's mayor, Jean-Louis Meret, I'm sure I butchered that, has come out in support, officially recognizing the animals as students of the school. Oh, the sheep were provided by a local farmer named Michael Gerard, one of just 4,000 residents in this small town. Any way to keep the funds coming to the school, man. The school doesn't get its allotted budget if they don't meet their quota. So in these, socialist countries where we need to make sure we still get the handout from the government on our funding, let's enroll sheep. And then the mayor of this town said, yeah, that'll work. We'll just enroll the sheep. And it worked, and they got their funding. If that is not a huge waste of money, I don't know what is. I wonder if they could have just moved these kids to another school, or maybe just reduce the funds and the amount that they were given because they didn't have as many. Maybe they could have just done it, broke out what it is per kid and then just reduced it by that much. But here is a prime example of when you have big government with money to just give out. Big government just giving money out. Not money they earned, right? Exactly. Rational says, I know. I should have thought of that. Damn it. That was a good one, Rational. Basically, I'm going to steal that. Basically, what I'm saying is that the school sort of pulled the wool over the eyes of the administrators, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. I can't wink, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that is some seriously hilarious shit right there. Hilarious. Oh, man. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Got another article here. I don't want to do that one yet. Is this the sheep one? Nope, same one. New Iran sanctions. Don't want to do the sanctions one yet. Oh yeah, I should have. I should have. I should have brought this one up right behind the other one. What's up, Next Radio? Animal farms. Yeah, they are. How high is my computer monitor? Oh, because I'm looking up like this. It's about yonder. It's a screen about. So am I looking up too high? I switched it, the camera view. Not that you guys care. So now it still looks like I'm. Yeah. Ooh, can't be serious. True dat. Schools across the West are full of sheep. The teacher probably didn't even notice. Yep. Bite marks on the crayons. That's funny, man. That's very good. You are a very good troll. I need to take lessons from you. That was very good. I'll reread it because I like that. True dat. Schools across the West are full of sheep. The teacher probably didn't even notice, except that there was less bite marks on the crayons. Ooh, can't be serious. That was a bad article. Yeah, it's good stuff. So check this one out here about old Comey. We don't spy. We investigate. Ex-FBI Chief Comey on Trump campaign op. It looked like a spy. It looked like a spy. It wiretapped like a spy, and it set up a sting operation like a spy. But according to James Comey, says the FBI's counterintelligence operation against Donald Trump's presidential campaign was investigation. It's all a matter of words and how you spin those words and use those words. Put in my mint. In an investigation on CBS this morning on Wednesday, American former top spy, investigator. Sorry, let me reread this. In an appearance on CBS this morning on Wednesday, America's former top spy, investigator, took aim at Attorney General William Barr for claiming the FBI spying did occur on the Trump campaign in 2016. Yeah, exactly. We don't spy on people. We just watch without them knowing. We just watch without them knowing. It's surveillance. It's an investigation, but it's not spying. Don't say the S word. Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. The FBI doesn't spy. The FBI investigates. Okay, but you use spying when you're investigating sometimes, right? That's why you have informants, and that's why you have undercover agents that are spying. And do people buy this? I mean, does this work in this upside down world where people are all like, it wasn't spying, it was investigating? Okay, they was being recorded, video recorded, audio recorded, sent in double agent chicks to pretend like they were other people to campaign, campaigners and presidential campaign aides, wiretaps, getting into the emails. All these things they're doing, but that's just investigation. That's not spying. How dumb are people really? I don't think they're that dumb. I think people are willfully ignorant. We investigated a very serious allegation from a dossier that had nothing but disinformation in it, and that was presented to them by it was opposition, research. It was op-ed or opposition research funded by Hillary Clinton. That was the information that was given them that was very serious allegations that they had to look into. That Americans might be hooked up with American or with Russian efforts to attack our democracy. We don't have any problem attacking everybody else's democracy, side note, though, right? That's the funny part, too, is that, anyways, that's a total side note. I'm not going to get on that right now. So was the FBI's counterintelligence campaign spying or not spying? That's an issue of semantics. The agency wiretapped Trump's campaign advisor, Carter Page, based on flimsy evidence laid out in a so-called Steele dossier, an unverified piece of Democratic-funded opposition research compiled by former British spy Christopher Steele. Comey himself later admitted that the agency knew the dossier was unverified. So they knew it was unverified. They knew it was a bunch of hogwash, and yet they used that, allegedly, as their reason to spy on Trump. While Barr... The FBI also sent an undercover agent to London to meet with George Papadopoulos, another advisor to the Trump campaign, to probe Papadopoulos for contacts with the Russian government. While Barr referred to the FBI's campaign as spying, his use of the word angered America's top spies. Yeah, because it called them out. It called them out for doing some illegal shit. That's why it angered them. And the reason they're going after Barr, like we just talked about before, is because he's calling them out. He's calling them out and he's going after these people, so they're discrediting them. They're going on a full-fledged media campaign and smear campaign to discredit Barr because he's calling them out and going after them. The former director of national intelligence, James Clapper, called Barr's comments stunning and scary. But what we did, what the FBI did wasn't stunning and scary. It's stunning and scary that Barr would claim, right? The Barr would claim Trump's campaign was spied on. That is stunning and scary. But it's not stunning and scary that the Obama administration and the Department of Justice under Obama would order a presidential candidate, to be spied on. That's not stunning and scary. Or to be investigated off of an unverified Steele dossier, to be investigated with secret wiretaps and double agents and, spies, undercover agents going in and infiltrating the campaign, to be investigated, secretly, to be secretly investigated. That's not stunning and scary. While current FBI Director Christopher Wray told senators on Tuesday that spying is not a term I would use to describe the FBI's surveillance activity. I wouldn't use that word because that word reflects badly on us, so I would appreciate it if people wouldn't use that word because that makes it sound like we did some stuff that was illegal. That'd be bad. Lots of people have different colloquial phrases, he added. Yeah, like the dictionary. The dictionary has colloquial phrases where surveillance, undercover surveillance is considered, there's a synonym for that. It's called spying. Although currently embroiled in a struggle with the House Democrats over his refusal to hand over a fully unredacted version of the Mueller report, Barr told the Senate last week that his department is working to try to reconstruct the FBI's surveillance on Trump's campaign. So I'm not handing over the redaction or the by law, I'm not handing over the report with the unredacted parts that by law I'm not allowed to. Oh, and by the way, I'm trying to reconstruct the surveillance investigation that was taking place on the Trump campaign. The left and these scumbags that were involved in this are losing their minds over this because they're realizing if he starts digging into this, this could make Watergate look like a walk in the park. Could make Watergate look like an afternoon sundae with a cherry on top and whipped cream, stuff like that. Vaginary, dude. Dictionary is patriarchal and wrong. So yeah, I will start referring to it as the vaginary. That's true. Whatever the results, the war on words continues for now. As an aside, according to the Oxford English Thesaurus, surveillance, counterintelligence, wiretapping are all synonyms for, You guessed it, spying. So there's your colloquial phrases. You retarded, idiotic, two-faced, scumbag, lying piece of crap. Uh, um, don't even know the words. Intelligence agencies. You partisan hacks. You would do anything, and it's making it more and more clear that the what the FBI directors and the upper echelons of the FBI were saying in the text messages, like we will stop him. We can never let Trump be it. Trump will never get elected in a million years, whatever they said. And then that when they were investigated on that and when they were interviewed on that, they said that isn't what we meant. We were just talking in generalities terms, like this can't happen. We won't let this happen. Blah blah blah. They had plans in place, and they were actively trying to make sure that Trump didn't get elected. And that's scary to think that our government would do that. And they've gotten away with it. They've done it for years, probably on both sides of the aisle. But the fact is now, it just so happens it came out when Trump, a Republican running for office, and a Democratic-controlled government tried to actively make sure he did not get into the presidency. And it failed. And there's that. So, yeah, kind of an interesting little thing there. Rhea B, what's up? They tried to set up yeah, they did. And Papadopoulos was a little too smart for his own good. Catch up on a couple of the texts here. Nick Strato says, anybody remember when Loretta Lynch wanted the word investigation changed to matter? Words make a difference. Yeah, exactly. Is that when she met with Bill Clinton on the tarmac? Old Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton in the election. Yeah, there was no funny business going on. They were just talking about kids, man. They were exchanging pictures of the grandkids. That's all they were doing. They weren't talking about how they were going to, make sure certain things were getting suppressed with Hillary and that everything was going to be all copacetic. Rational says, sadly, we have had an Orwellian thought control program running for decades now. So, yes, changing spy to investigate will work on many. Exactly. Yeah, that's the truth. There's stupid enough people out there and they just hate Trump so much that they won't realize, yeah, man, what the FBI did was really wrong. Because if the tables were turned, they would be losing their shit. It would be on all the mainstream media about how, like if Trump was in office and he did this to Obama, or he did this to whatever you name it, right? Whatever Democratic candidate was coming up in the election. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Rhea, sorry, I missed where I was at here. Rational said, so yeah, I guess that means they were mattering, not spying. Yeah, exactly. Rhea, they outright did set him up. It seems for the first contact he had with someone claiming Russia had dirt on Hillary was linked to Fusion GPS and the FBI. Yep, exactly. What's up, Arena? Linsky? Arena? Nice to have you here. Rational also said, and Alex Downer, the Australian diplomat that claimed Papadopoulos told him of potential Russian dirt was a Clinton stooge from the old days. I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it was just grandparent chit chat. Wink, wink. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty. That's pretty hilarious how we are just, and we'll call it out, and it'll all get pushed down. It's just with the censorship going on online, with the censorship going on in the media and in Silicon Valley. I mean, they are gearing up right now. They are gearing up for the 2020 election because they know they have a whole bunch of shit candidates. They know that Trump has a lot of support. Knock on wood, the economy still stays good. He's doing a lot of things good. I am not on board with the warmongering that's going on. That's kind of pissing me off. That's the whole reason why I was excited that Trump was getting into office in the first place. He wasn't going to be getting us involved in wars, and now we're just pissing on China, pissing on Iran, pissing at Russia, pissing at Venezuela. I mean, it's just like, geez, why does he have Pompeo and Bolton in there, man? These two war hawks that are just chomping at the bit to get us in some sort of a conflict. It just blows me away, but I'm hoping something comes out of this where he is, he Trump sees the light and it doesn't stays good on his. Well, for instance, here's an article about Pompeo about oil again. Go figure, right? Oil has to do with it. This article I found very hypocritical. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to go after some of Trump's cabinet that I'm not happy with, that I'm really wishing we could see a change in. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has yet again lashed out at the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline project, claiming that Moscow wants it as leverage over Europe and vowed to continue efforts to disrupt it. Okay. Who are we to talk about leverage with oil over other countries? And this is a nonpartisan issue right now. Republicans and Democrats alike have done it for since forever. We use our oil and our power of the petrodollar and our power of being able to leverage oil over other countries all the time. Russia and China for years have been gearing up for this back since 2012. They've been gearing up for this. They've been getting their ducks in a row so that we don't have as much, power to bully them around. And this isn't a defense of China and Russia. This isn't saying China and Russia are good and America's so bad to them. No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Russia and China have been taking into their own hands their economic output, their own economic viability between one another, and with not being so dependent upon the U.S. and and oil, having the oil trade, so on and so forth. So Russia has wanted to do this Nord Stream pipeline, and we're saying Pompeo's claiming that we're using it or Moscow's using that as leverage against us. Seems a little hypocritical. Pompeo, well known for his vocal criticism of the pipeline project, touched upon the topic while giving a speech at the Center for Policy Studies in London on Wednesday. Russia wants Nord Stream 2 to use energy as a leverage over Europe. We wouldn't allow it. I'm going to reread that. Russia wants Nord Stream 2 to use energy as leverage over Europe. We wouldn't allow it to pursue. We shouldn't allow it to proceed. Pompeo stated while praising the close relationship between the U.S. and the U.K. The pipeline constructed by the Russian Gazprom in partnership with 5 European energy majors under the Baltic Sea has been repeatedly criticized by Washington and others, including Kiev. The criticism has included speculation that the new pipeline would bring the amount of Russian transit gas and profits from it for the Ukrainian authorities to zero. Senior U.S. officials, including Pompeo, have repeatedly warned Europe of the alleged threats that the Nord Stream 2 bears, because they've put a lot of work into the Ukraine. They put a lot of work into the Ukraine of putting in the government that we want there, just like we're trying to do in Venezuela. And they don't want to see that overthrown by something Russia's doing. And by the way, all that was done under Obama. Trump's continuing in it, which I wish he wouldn't, but all that was done under Obama. The putting of the puppet in Ukraine. Senior U.S. officials, including Pompeo, I just read that. Despite the pressure from the U.S., Europe, namely Germany, the major partner in the project, has not caved into it, and the construction of the pipeline, expected to provide transit for 70% of Russian gas sales to the European Union, goes on. While Washington's concerns about the dependence of the European Union on Russia might appear genuine, the U.S. has actually been actively seeking to get its own share in the European energy market. Well, what do you know? Trying to sell more of its liquefied natural gas, LNG. So, when you start digging into some of these things and start looking at them, you start to realize we know this. We're so propagandized, though. We're so propagandized on so many issues. You really got to try to know both sides of the coin and really what's going on. It's kind of the whole Russian collusion farce was so bad. Not even Biden wants to touch it. That's funny, Rational. That's because it's too old for him, Gator says. Gator. Remember to like and sub, peeps. That's right. Like and sub it up. And also, everybody, this link that Gator's putting in there, that's my Telegram link for my Telegram group. I'd love it if you guys, went and clicked on that little link ski there and joined my Telegram group. That'd be cool. It says Nord Stream 2 is a major security issue if you believe Vladimir Putin is a rogue actor. Yeah. Yeah. Another link here. Pompeo. What's that one? Oh, here's another one from the award winner. I can't stand Pompeo, man. He bugs the crap out of me. Duly elected leader Pompeo echoes a falsehood about Venezuela Guaido. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo repeated the false claim that the U.S.-backed opposition leader Juan Guaido is the duly elected leader of Venezuela. Apparently, he reads CNN. I don't understand where anybody can believe this or see this. It is ridiculous. Rational said, I like a lot about Pompeo, but his hawkish tendencies sometimes concern me. After Obama's abject failure to do anything allowed Iran, China, Russia influence to grow, more assertions required, but there has to be limits. Granted, there does, but why we need to be bringing them together, bringing them to the table, not just flexing our. I think, I don't know. I don't know if I fully agree with the whole like more assertion. We're poking the bear. I think that they want some sort of conflict to show the strength, or some, I don't know. It's beyond me. I don't agree with it. Speaking in London after his meeting with the UK Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt, Pompeo told reporters that Venezuelans had chosen Guaido to lead them. No, they didn't. No, nobody chose him. The U.S. chose Guaido to lead them. That is what we did. He was hardly even known prior to him stepping out and saying he's going to be president and having the U.S. back support. He was barely known in Venezuela. He is not the duly elected leader. Maduro is, and Maduro's a piece of crap. I don't like Maduro, but we can't go in there and overthrow him. We can't do that. That never works out well. The Venezuelan people have spoken through constitutional mechanisms. They have put Juan Guaido as their interim president, and he is the duly elected leader there. Pompeo also adding that Maduro is on borrowed time. Well, of course he is, because if the coups that they're supporting don't work, then we're ramping up for military action, which will be a colossal freaking bad decision. China and Russia are not going to stand by on this one and just let us do that. And then we're going to get into a direct confrontation with China and Russia. China and Russia. Not only did Guaido not win the presidential election in May 2018, he didn't even run. He wasn't even a presidential candidate. The opposition boycotted the race. And that's the other thing. The opposition to Maduro boycotted people running against Maduro. On the basis of a legal technicality, Guaido declared himself interim president in January and was recognized by a number of countries, including the U.S. and many of its allies. In a recently corrected story, CNN also said Guaido had won an election, but it claimed it was in January. There was no election in January, at least not in Venezuela. Pompeo at the same presser also lectured leaders, including Jeremy Corbyn, who refused to take up the hostile U.S. State Department's line on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. It is disgusting to see leaders in not only the UK, but in the United States as well, who continue to support the murderous dictator Maduro, Pompeo replied, adding that no leader in a country with Western democratic values ought to stand behind Maduro. The Guaido-led opposition attempted a military coup in late April, but failed to inspire mass defection from the security forces. The uprising fizzled out in 36 hours. I think Venezuela is terribly ran. I think their socialist policies there are have hurt the country immensely. I think our sanctions have hurt the country also. But I'm on this, and I won't ever get off of it. The kick that well, the main reason we're in there is because Maduro said he was moving away from the petrodollar and was going to start having more control over his oil resources, and we didn't like that, and so we figured out he's got to go, and we'll put in somebody that wants to play nice with us. Yeah, I don't know how it works either, Gator. Virtualization is bad. Yeah, I agree. Obama was a complete puss to where he didn't do anything. But we need to do way less, right? We need to be doing way less in the world. Be focusing more on our direct interests at home. Yeah, it goes back to Bush too. You're right. Um, I fail to see China has become a real threat in our region, and Islam is now a global problem. No, I agree with you on the China thing, but that was happening either way. Just China's been growing. We've been, and we've had such bad policies with them for so long. Um, and Islam is now a global problem, partly Bush's fault. Well, I wouldn't say just partly Bush's fault for the Islam problem. The global is a problem with this, militant, Islam is. I'd say it was largely. I mean, he created a lot of that blowback and a lot of that upheaval, and then Obama carried it on, and it's just been one big shit cluster after the next. Um, hmm. What is this one? Oh, yeah, I just did that one. Some of the things that I had on there, I kind of already touched on. Um, there was a couple other things I should have written them down that I wanted to chat about, and I can't remember what they are right this second. But how long have I been going for? Oh, almost an hour. Got about 10 more minutes. Islam scares the crowd. It should. I think it does me too. Um, militant is, you know, Islamists scare the shite out of me. Um, I don't know how moderate Muslims fit into it. They don't. I don't know enough about them to speak hardcore on it. I need to get Rational in here. He's kind of a expert on the matter. But this, like Muslim Brotherhood and some of these other things to do with Sharia law, implementing Sharia law, and fundamentalist Islam, it worries me. It is has no part. It has no part. Fundamental in Islam has no part in the Western culture. It shouldn't have any, and I don't care how xenophobic or how racist or bigoted some people are. Not racist because you can't be racist against religion, but bigoted people think that is it. When you look at what Sharia law stands for, it is, or what it constitutes, and fundamentalist Islam constitutes, and what they believe in, it is freaking. It has no compatibility. There's zero compatibility, in my opinion, on that, and that's just my thoughts on the matter. So who knows if I'm right or if I'm wrong. So what else? What do you guys want to talk about real quick? I'm gonna head in here in just a minute because I gotta go in and say goodnight to the kid, the girl, my daughter. What else is going on? Yeah. What's that whole meme? I think somebody shared the other day the meme of like, a fundamentalist Islam's like worship Muhammad or convert to Islam or I will kill you, and a moderate one is convert to Muslim or convert to Islam or he will kill you, and points at the crazy one. It's kind of two birds with the same stone or two birds with the same feather in a lot of ways. Rational said the moderate struggle for traction because the Quran is easily read as a non-moderate, Quran 9111, is that really the address? Says believers sold their lives to Allah. Says believers sold their lives to Allah and slay and are slain in cause. and he gives them paradise as a reward for killing people. Yeah, I think you can, man. If you signed up and if you're on mine, I'll message you later. We'll start playing around with it. Gator, did you get signed up for it yet? I mean, Rational? Because I know you were worried about the whole phone number dealio. It's totally private, dude. They don't give your information out to anybody. I will see if I can see Gator's number. If I can't, then your number. It's like that's what they claim, at least, that it's completely. That's one of the big things about it is the secrecy on it. You know, like it can't be hacked and all this other stuff. I mean, anything probably can be hacked, but okay, good, man. I'd love to have you on. Yeah, it's super heavily encrypted. Super heavily encrypted. That's cool, Rational. I can't wait to have you on. How many people we got in here right now? Yeah, just 5. Not a ton. We had a couple really good ones. I need to promote it, though. I need to let people know when I'm going on. And I think other people are streaming right now, too. Some of the other providers or content creators. Get with it, man. Get with it. Oh, that's funny. My bottle's green. I need to have a green bottle. My that's funny. That is cool. I need to do my green bottle and then put like red in it, you know? So it'll just be look like that's what I'm going to bring from now on. I'm going to keep this. That's perfect. That's funny. All right, guys, I got to get in, man. I wish we could go longer. I had something else I was going to talk about, but I can't remember what it was. So, yeah, it's this. I don't know if you can see it or not. The aloe vera stuff. It's got pulp in it, and the first time I drank it, I was like, "Oh, what is this?" It was weird, but it's really good, man. Tell me about the aloe drink. Yeah, aloe. It's really good. It's tasty. You should go buy yourself some. Try it. It's pretty good. I should. I should. My eyes are kind of green, but not green enough. Any old mini mart. You can get that at any old mini mart. I bet you they even have it in Nebraska. Okay, guys, I'm gonna sign off. I don't know about farmers market. Is the farmers market the closest thing you got, Gator? Don't you have a mini mart where you're at? Tequila. um, I have been working full time with a new manager and whatnot. That's why my videos haven't been. No, you can just get it at any Gator. You can get it at any store, bro. Any mini mart, man. Good night, Rhea. Thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna start planning these. I know I keep saying that, but I'm gonna start planning these and giving live stream warm or heads up. I'd like to figure out some good little segments to do. So, Rational and Gator and anybody else in the Discord chat, if you have some fun ideas, hit me up with them. And Rational, hit me up in the Discord later and let me know. And we'll set up a time to get you on. That'd be fine, or that'd be fun. And we got Gator. We got the 3 amigos with all 3 of us. We got Gator doing, we'll moderate it, and we'll be good. Yeah, let's do that. And until next time, without fear of animals and or without fear and animus, it's SJG Perspective, and I am going to catch all you sons of suckers later. All right, guys, later. Bye.